Alright guys, time to grab here back again today. Haven't enjoyed your day so far, and today we're going to discuss John. He released a tweet yesterday for the first time in however long, expressing that he may well be back to full health relatively soon. Really interesting discussion, quite frankly, and he certainly says that he wants to get on the Esports podcast and tell his story from his perspective to Hector and the rest of the community. Very intrigued to see what this might entail. A few replies to the tweet as well might be relatively telling, one from Zuma, and well, of course, with John linked to the New York Subliners not too long ago. But I'm very intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, because it doesn't necessarily line up with what we've heard from other sources, right? The fact that John has like a 1-year CDL ban, is this the true reason behind things? Is there still a 1-year ban going on? Has that now ended and he's looking to get back in the starting lineups? And you know, what's going on? It's very much up in the air. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Like if you enjoy it, subscribe if you are new. As always, I'd greatly appreciate it. Really helps out the channel. Thank you for doing that. I thought this is pretty funny from Gersh as well related to last night. What are Paris Legion doing? Nobody really knows right now. And well, of course, the roster mania discussion continues as we discuss about John. So this is the tweet from John. Just know that when I'm 100% ready, I'll be coming back with none of the health issues or distractions that I was low-key playing with before. I'm close to getting my mind and health perfect with the help of my second home. Trust the process. So I imagine he's been in this place quite a lot. Now we'll look at exactly what this place might be in just a second. But a very interesting tweet. So none of the health issues or distractions I was low-key playing with before. So I mean, maybe he does, you know, this could still definitely be in tandem with the 1-year ban we've discussed for whatever reason. But maybe in the, you know, the recent few years of his competition, we certainly talked about how in Black Ops 4 he wasn't quite the player he had been in previous seasons. And well, very interesting. It was one of the biggest discussions, frankly, of the off-season before Modern Warfare. Why isn't John getting on a team? Like, what is going on here? Why is he not in a starting lineup? And people were initially rumoring, like, okay, well, he wasn't great in Black Ops 4, quite frankly. Like, only frequency hardpoint he tended to be pretty decent on. The other maps, he, you know, wasn't so strong, right? But typically in games like Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, he's been very, very strong. On Black Ops Cold War, I imagine a lot of professional players that rate John very highly. He is a world champion, of course, on the Black Ops 3 season with Team Envious. And, you know, I'm sure a lot of pro players are looking at him as they were at the beginning of the Modern Warfare season, trying to pick this guy up. And, well, maybe he's saying that some of his health issues were affecting his play in previous seasons, but I imagine this is still probably in tandem with whatever, you know, 1-year ban he happened to have for whatever reason. That is, well, certainly the going rumor as it stands right now. But it's great to see. He says, I'm close to getting my mind and health perfect with the help of my second home. So, you know, people were looking into exactly what this is. This screenshot right here of this, well, who really knows? I'm not like a medical expert by any means. People were discussing this on the Reddit, reckoning it's one of these things, these hyperbaric oxygen chambers. Looks kind of similar to me, quite frankly. Basically looks like the same thing. But if you guys are medical professionals, let me know if this is worth the money, because $8.5 grand, I don't know if we can afford that, but well, if it's going to make me play Call of Duty like John, maybe it is worth it indeed. This guy called Lethal also did some further investigation in a Reddit thread, looking into some of these bags in the background, the Southern Vein and Laser Center, it looks like, and yeah, this deals like with pain, swelling, discomfort, that kind of stuff. So maybe in the hands, who really knows? But yeah, certainly good to see John potentially getting back to full health and hopefully getting in a starting lineup, right? Because it would be very exciting to see him back in the league. It'd be a great storyline to see what he could potentially do and what teams, of course, would potentially want to pick him up. And one of the other discussions he has in reply here is Hunter says, not sure how you'd feel about telling your story, but I'd love to hear it, especially on the Hex Esports podcast. You'd be an inspiration to a lot of people. And John says, I am down. So this is really cool to see. I'd love to see John get on the Eavesdrop podcast because, well, we don't really see too much behind the name, I suppose. Like, people know, okay, this guy John, but he seems kind of mysterious, super icy in the game. Not many people know about, like, his origin story, where he came from, how long he's been playing the game. He's been playing since, like, Black Ops 1, played with, like, all sorts of players. I think he's a pretty mysterious player, quite frankly, to a lot of people. I think people would be very intrigued to hear his story, and also because there's so many questions around what exactly happened over last season, right? Was he banned? What's going on with his health issues? Why he's not in a team? Like, what potential options did he have on the table? You know, previous events that he could have won and stuff like this. I'm sure that'd be very interesting to hear, and hopefully they can make something like this happen over the coming weeks. Zuma in reply as well says, proud of you, brother. Excited to see what is next, because Zuma was talking a couple of weekends ago. Yeah, okay, we've got Hydra in the team now, alongside Zuma, Clayster, and Mac. And well, he was discussing, yeah, what are my options here? Like, we're looking for potential substitutes, potential other players to fill in the rest of the roster. And it's very interesting to see what a lot of these pro teams will do. Most of them have not signed a substitute yet at all. There's some that are still rumored, some that have been confirmed, like Insight to the Toronto Ultra relatively recently. But a lot of teams are probably thinking, okay, yeah, maybe we just stick it out for the start of the season. We wait for a couple of months, because the league's probably going to start late January, early February maybe. They might push it back a little bit this year with the hope potentially that they can get more LAN events if they push the season back somewhat. Who really knows, right? But the game comes out in a few weekends' time. There's, of course, going to be some tournaments dropping as soon as those things happen, and some of the amateur guys are going to, well, rise to the top in terms of the online tournament tournament results, then some of the pro teams might step in and start picking these guys up, as opposed to just signing someone now. Because I suppose you don't need to sign a substitute player this early, because it's so long till the season begins, but also, at the same time, there's only 12 teams in the league right now, right? So you don't really have too much competition to pick these guys up. And, you know, does John want to be a substitute? I imagine he would take a substitute spot with the intention to getting in the starting lineup, but that was some of the big discussion as, like, you know, exactly what's going on here. Is it possible that he joins the New York Subliners? That was the link at the time, and as you can see, some of the confirmations right now, Huntsmen is still going to have General as their substitute, Los Angeles Guerrillas confirmed Mental and Chino, I believe, to be their subs, Los Angeles, you know, Toronto Ultra since confirmed their team, in addition to Insight as their substitute, and, you know, we don't really know what's going on with Los Angeles Optic right now, but it could well be Draza. The rest of the teams are very much up in the air. We have no idea what's going on with Paris Legion, we have no idea really what's going on with the Ravens, but we think it's probably going to be Zero. Florida Mutineers as well, we don't know who's going to be their fifth either, right? So a guy like John could certainly slot in here somewhere. If he's back to full health, then he's in good position, right? And, you know, the ban is no longer affecting him, especially as I say that I don't think a number of the substitute slots are going to be filled out until, well, at least a couple of months from now. And if that is the case, John will definitely have adequate time to prove that he can still do it at the start of the new game and potentially get a spot if he is allowed back in the CDL. And definitely, by the way he was tweeting, it seems like, look, he's back to full health, back ready to compete and ready to bring the fire once again, like he used to a few years ago. And, well, it's going to be a very exciting prospect, quite frankly, to see him back in the league. Thought this was very interesting from GG Breaking Point. Scump has had many ups and downs during the biggest event of the year. Which of Scump's individual CoD Champs performances was the best regardless of the result? Thought this was actually remarkable, the kind of KDs that Scump was putting up at these early tournaments especially. I mean, third at the Black Ops 2-1 and the Ghost one with a 1.2 and a 1.13. Then, like, these tournaments that they fell short at, of course, the Optic Gaming squad in Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3 as well. Scump had a 1.3 KD. I mean, this is just absolutely out of control with an SMG in hand. I mean, pretty remarkable. They didn't win these tournaments, quite frankly, or at least give a better run, but they did have a hard run in both of these. They lost to the eventual winners in both Denial and Envy, respectively, in winners round 1, and then faced none other than Patrick Aches Price in the losers bracket to knock him out of the tournament. He did win the next year, of course, when Formal had like a 1.44, and then, of course, the World War II days, which Optic fans don't like to speak about, and then most recently the couple of third places, of course. But quite the remarkable history for sure, and I just wanted to finish up with this very interesting thing from Doug Lieb. Now, this guy is an analyst over at the Los Angeles Guerrillas, and there was some discussion around the Overwatch League, the fact that there's a new patch which means, well, you can look into the game more deeply and actually extract some of the in-game statistics. And as Doug says, Overwatch scrims will now have exportable data logs for every game immediately after it finishes. Any stats you want, not just the scoreboard, so damage, not just like headshot percentage. I mean, you guys might remember the league this year was giving us all like these headshot percentage stats and stuff quite often. It's like, you know, why does anyone care? Because I think that's the only stats that they could get from the, well, from actually extract from the game itself. Now, the Overwatch League is certainly, well, stepping up its game. This is a literal game changer in the CDL. It took them an entire year to get as well the kills and deaths for games that took place 6 months ago. This would be great to see, quite frankly, this extra integration. Like, you know, if the Overwatch League are pushing it, then I imagine the CDL shouldn't be too far behind. The fact that we can get like all the stats from the game, and that's certainly going to help the stats guys and the analysts for the team with their statistics, but it's also going to probably be a better experience for us watching the stream, being able to see maybe like heat maps and all of this kind of stuff on the actual broadcast itself. That would be fantastic, especially if it's available immediately after the game finishes. And this is for scrims as well, not even Pro League matches. So yeah, even better, quite frankly. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. Really helps the YouTube algorithm know you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well. Intrigued to hear your thoughts on this John stuff in the comment section below. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.
Alright, baby.
Let's fucking get it, brothers.
I believe in you guys. Believe in each other. Let's fucking go, baby. Step 2 starts right now.
Get this shit. You wouldn't tell me, front of me.
Bounce, absolute top yellow. Top yellow, I need help.
Wouldn't tell me top broken.
Bottom blue.
I got another. Bottom blue, Cammy dead. Classic dead. I'm one shot. One in yellow. In yellow on me.
Top yellow.
He's in yellow somewhere, guys.
Yeah, there's one.
Got him, bottom.
Back to the ramp.
No one, stone and C1.
I
got one C1.
Stone. 100% stone. 100%
Stone.
stone. They're hitting C3 on you. I'm coming top sandbags. Stay down. Just Porter, do not peek.
I'm trying to get down.
You're good. You're good. Let's go, man! Come on!
I'm going crate.
They love to go top crate. They love to go top crate.
Wait.
Let's push A. Let's push A. Let's push A while they push B. I'll get it. I got it.
I need it.
I'm nerd, guys.
I got them both. I got both. See.
Last guy, Bent. B is Bent. Bent is B. Let's go. There's one locker.
Spawning lockers, nerd, guys.
Yeah, lockers.
Can you hop it?
Wait, one's nerd.
Nerd hit boxes.
Watch on Nick boxes. Absolutely.
Two. I got them both. Go.
Good shit.
You want shot. Go green.
Cammy, one shot, nerd.